Hey fourth grade families, and welcome back. You have just hopefully watched the video on how to tour our LMS, which stands for Learning Management System. If you have not, just take a moment, go back and watch the LMS video so a lot more of this can make sense. Otherwise, I'm going to push through and I'm going to explain a little bit more about what this Bitmoji hallway is and what all these different rooms are. We know that virtual learning can be really confusing, and we wanted to create a one-stop shop for all of the content we want to push out to our kids here on the LMS. When they are doing assignments, they're going to find their assignments within the LMS and the assignments in their course content. But when it comes to sharing videos or Nearpod lessons or extra websites, we didn't want you to have to hop all over the place. So we are going to show you our virtual classroom. Just like the LMS, even though you're touring Mrs. Schumann's virtual classroom, it's actually the same virtual classroom for the entire fourth grade team. So if you're in Mrs. Boswell's room, Mrs. Houston's room, or Mrs. Schumann's room, you're covered. Watch this video and you'll know how to navigate it. First, we're going to welcome you to this hallway. This is our fourth grade hallway, and here you are going to be able to navigate the rest of our content. In this main room, you're going to be finding ways to contact your teachers. So I'm going to click on this icon. This black bob icon is your clue of where the link is. If you click on it, you're going to be opened up to a new page. So on this page, you can send a message to Mrs. Houston by clicking on her icon, Mrs. Schumann by clicking on mine, or Mrs. Boswell. If you are ever trapped in a room and you need to get out of there, you want to look for this tiny little yellow house right here. This is going to send you straight back to the hallway. So if you're ever trapped, look for the house. Another thing you're going to be finding on this main room are links to log into Zoom. You have a copy of the schedule because it's been emailed to you, as well as available through our LMS. And so you should be able to use that schedule to know when to log in. But you can use the virtual hallway to still access these links. For example, Mrs. Houston's Sunrise link, Mrs. Boswell's Sunrise link, or if you are fully virtual with Mrs. Schumann, you've got your Sunrise link, your reading link, and your math link, all housed on this page. Just make sure you look at the schedule to know when it's your turn to log in. Now in these rooms, this is where all the magic is. We're going to start with the homeroom, so I'm going to click on the Black Bob logo. And in here, you're going to have a daily message for the day, a reminder to log into Zoom, and then you're also going to have access to some other things like, again, the schedule. I can hit back and go back to the room. You can access the newsletter. Or maybe if you just need another challenge and you're looking for something to do in the day, go into this room and train your brain a bit. Down here, if you're feeling overwhelmed and you just need to move your body, we have playlists of brain breaks that you can use here, and we will switch these out as the year goes on. If you're having tech issues, you can go to our YouTube page by clicking on this icon, or you can put in a tech request to the district by clicking on this icon. I am done with my homeroom, so I'm going to click on Home. Now I'm going to go and visit our language arts room. Language arts is huge in the fourth grade, and we really couldn't squeeze it all into one room. So you're going to notice from the language arts room, we can enter other places like a separate reading room, a separate spelling room, and a separate writing room. But first, let me tell you what you can find in here. First, you'll get access to our word wall. As we learn new words in social studies, as we learn new words inside of our Sunrise meetings or in language arts, we're going to add them to our word wall so you can continue your collection and use them throughout the year. We also know how hard it is to find new books when you're at home, so we've created virtual libraries for you. If you click on the book that belongs to your teacher, it'll open you up to a virtual library where you can click through the different themes and listen into audiobooks that have to do with that theme. So you have a Harry Potter room, a series of unfortunate events room, Percy Jackson, Roald Dahl, and on and on and on. Now, also in this room, very important, is access to our Flipgrid. We're going to be using Flipgrid all the time. So to find your teacher's Flipgrid, you are going to click on their stool. So if you are in Mrs. Schumann's class, you click on the stool, and then you're going to join the class, and you're going to be using Flipgrid for each topic that we bring up in class. Don't worry, we'll learn about it along the way. Now, if you want to enter the reading room, you click on this black bob icon, And here is your reading room. You can see right now the instructions for the first day of school. And so whenever you do log in on Tuesday the 8th, this is what your room's going to look like. You have access to websites. You have access to our Think Central. This is where all of our online textbooks live. And you also have access to listening to the first few chapters of our core lit book in case you just want to follow along while you read it at home. Now, if you're saying, okay, I'm done, I need to leave this reading room, click back, and you're back in language arts. We are going to also have a spelling room. For the first week of school, we will have no spelling lessons. So check back in on September 14th, but this is where it's going to be. And you also have a writing room. Notice in these rooms, you're going to have a checklist of what they need to do today and their objective. So if you leave the LMS and you're like, oh, I completely forgot what I have to do today, don't worry, guys. Your 4th grade team's got you covered. We wrote it down for you again in every single room so you know exactly what to work on. So it says I can describe who I am using a Google form. It tells me click on the frame next to this whiteboard. Got it. And then I do that assignment. I'm done with this room, so I'm going to leave. I'm done with language arts, so I'm going to go home. Our math room's a little more clear-cut. You only have a few places that you can visit. When you start a math lesson, we want you to practice your multiples. So for the first day in math, you're going to do that. You're going to practice your multiples, and we are going to be using songs to practice them. Each of these posters, if you click on it, opens up to a song that you can use to help memorize your multiples. Fair warning, Mrs. Schumann was not the one who sang in that song. Neither was Mrs. Boswell. Neither was Mrs. Houston. It was another brave soul who recorded herself singing this music, but follow along with her and she'll help you memorize the music. We gave you some manipulatives to work on at home, but we know that math is going to require you to use other manipulatives. So if you click on this, it'll send you to a website that has all sorts of virtual manipulatives for you to use with math. Also, if you need extra reminders of things that we're learning about in math, you can go and click on our anchor chart library and look at all the different charts that we would use in math in this 4th grade room. We also have our other websites here like Zern, Cool Math Games, SumDog, Freckle, Prodigy, and this awesome puzzle website if you have some extra time you can check out as well. When you're done with math, you're going to leave the room. Sometimes you'll be having a social studies lesson and sometimes you'll be having a science lesson. For this first week of school, you will not be having any science lessons. So this is what the science room looks like. But for that first week of school, you're just going to be visiting social studies. In here, you're going to be clicking on the frame that has the icon next to it. That's going to send you to your assignment and follow the instructions to do your assignment. If you want to practice singing your 50 states, here is a song that you can sing. That is a tour of your online virtual classroom. We hope that you enjoy. Please reach out if you have any other questions about their virtual organization.